I just had a baby. I expect a $5,000 baby shower gift from you. This outrageous message came from Jessica, the detestable being who stole Michael from me. She had lied about being pregnant to steal him away, leading to our divorce. Even though I've tried to forget that day since remarrying, her presence still disrupts my peace. She hasn't changed, still stirring up trouble without a care. I can hardly believe she's my real sister. But now that this message has arrived and been seen by John, ignoring it isn't an option. Reluctantly, I agreed to attend the celebration since John suggested we go. John seems to have a plan. He's a warm and kind person, but hates dishonesty. He's smart and skilled at turning work situations to his advantage. So I trust he has a strategy in mind. She can laugh about it now, but soon she'll have to face the music for all her wrongdoings. Nail me, John Johnson. I've been working as an office assistant in a local company since I graduated from college. I've been dating someone since my college days. Back then, through our club activities, I met Michael Smith, a medical student at the same university. His dad is a renowned allergy specialist, so it seems Michael is aiming to become a doctor too. His father's clinic is super popular, with patients from all over the country seeking treatment there. Being the only son of a solo practitioner and heir to a well-known clinic, my first impression was that he was a smart, well-off guy. But that was just my bias. Apparently, talking to him, I found he was quite unique, and we both liked the same film director's work. I wanted to get to know him better, so I made the first move. Hey, have you seen the new movie by that director? If not, want to go see it together? A woman who likes those films. That's a bit surprising. Absolutely. Really, I don't have many fans in my circle. I'm so glad I can watch it with you. My efforts paid off, and he began to see me as someone special. Our relationship continued not just through college but afterwards too, and Michael proposed to me when I was 25. I'm still learning to be a doctor, but in the future, I want to take over my dad's clinic and be a great doctor. I want you, Naomi, to be there to see it all. Will you marry me? Of course, I'd be delighted. Let's have a happy life together. I was on top of the world, pregnant right after getting married. Michael would definitely be a great dad, boy or girl. As long as the baby was healthy, that was all that mattered. Michael was probably just as excited for the birth, but then my happiness shattered. I suffered from severe morning sickness, constantly battling nausea and feeling unwell. I couldn't keep up with my job post-college and had to resign. Fighting my morning sickness at home, I had eating morning sickness, needing to constantly eat to stave off the nausea, surrounded by empty pastry bags where I always sat. I'm home, Naomi. What's happened to this place? It's a mess with all these snacks and bread bags. Sorry, I've been too sick to clean up. You're not working, and you've put on so much weight. It's hard without eating. I was always eating because of my morning sickness. Despite being early in my pregnancy, I had gained 22 lumps compared to before, not doing housework and just eating. You're like a pig who's given up on being late. Like that's harsh. He laughed mockingly at me, someone who could barely move during her morning sickness. I couldn't believe he could be so cruel. Was my judgment that off? Maybe once the baby was born, Michael would return to his kind self. I held on to that faint hope, but it too would soon crumble. One day, my sister Jessica came to visit. Oh, Naomi, you are here. What a mess, though. Sorry for the mess. That's fine. I'm used to this place, like a second home. There she was, my sister Jessica, appearing before a warning out me, struggling with morning sickness and feeling awful. Jessica occasionally visits our home, but at that moment, I was too unwell to properly entertain her. Hoping a little chat might distract me, I decided to start a conversation. You know, it looks like the baby in my belly is a girl. I keep thinking about dressing up and going shopping together someday. Wow, I didn't know you were thinking about things like that. Does Michael know? It's going to be a girl. Girl? Yeah, I told Michael right away. It's a girl. And you know, I dream of wearing matching outfits with my child. Jessica, You've always been so stylish. I'm counting on your advice when the time comes." Then Jessica turned around, smiling meaningfully. "That's right. Michael is still a rookie doctor, but he'll eventually take over the family clinic." Poor Michael, having you as a clinic director's wife. "Stop it, Jessica. That's too harsh. You really have a sharp tongue." Jessica is quite sarcastic and sometimes says things that hit hard. As her younger sister, I've gotten used to it over the years. Still, it can be quite tough when I'm feeling unwell. But Jessica quickly returned to her usual smile and waved her hand. "Sorry, I just slipped into my usual mode. So, Naomi, anything bothering you lately?" "Bothering me? Well, Michael's been coming home late lately. He's a doctor, so it's unavoidable. But he seems to be at the hospital all the time, even on weekends. We hardly have time to talk these days." "I see. Well, it's no surprise, considering someone like you claims to be a doctor's wife." I felt a chill at Jessica's icy smile. "What I came to talk to you today." As she said this, Jessica glanced toward the living room door. Then entering from the living room door was Michael. "Michael, did you get off work early from the hospital today? I need to talk to you. Let's get a divorce." "What kind of joke is this? What do you mean?" As soon as I got back, I couldn't understand what Michael was saying at all. I knew he wasn't the type to make such a terrible joke at a time like this, especially since we had been together since college, and I was carrying his child. "See, your beloved husband is saying this. You should listen to his request and let go quickly." "What, Jessica?" Michael looked at me awkwardly. "I can't see you as a woman anymore after you kept eating and gaining weight. But this is morning sickness. I feel sick if I don't eat." Jessica looked triumphantly at me. "That's the way it is. And the baby in your belly being a girl. She won't be the heir to the Smith Clinic. But in my belly, I carry Michael's child, a suitable heir." "Jessica," I felt a sinking feeling as I watched Jessica lovingly stroke her belly. "I'm 3 months pregnant and it's a boy, according to the tests." "You can't be serious, Michael. What are you doing while I'm going through all this pain? That's why all your excuses, quitting your job and just eating all the time, are unacceptable. I'm tired of watching you lying around, constantly eating snacks. I take care of myself so I don't have morning sickness, even when pregnant. I won't lose my self-control and eat like a pig, unlike you." I was at a loss for words, seeing Jessica's smug face and Michael looking down at the floor, guilt-ridden. Jessica, being pregnant with a boy, I didn't know. But as an heir, I want a son. I prefer a beautiful wife like Jessica over a woman who keeps gaining weight without restraint. That's just wanting an heir and a beautiful wife is your own selfish desire, isn't it? I'll pay alimony, so let's part without any fuss. Seeing Michael apologizing, I knew that things could never go back to how they were. After that, Michael and I divorced, and I gave birth to our daughter as a single mother. His promise of alimony turned out to be just words, with no actual payment. Post-delivery, I had to work to survive since I had no one to rely on. Not knowing what else to do, I took a job at a nearby department store that's hiring. Life is unpredictable. My hard work and character caught the attention of someone. It was John Johnson, a well-regarded manager in the external sales department. "Tough day. You're always working hard." "Thanks. I'm about to finish up soon. Are you done for the day, John?" "Yeah. Oh, there's this great Italian place nearby. I want you to try, Naomi. And this, it's a little gift for your daughter." Through light conversations every time we met, we were drawn to each other and began dating, which led to our remarriage. "Naomi, I might be a guy 20 years older than you, but I sincerely want to make you and your daughter happy. Will you marry me?" "Are you sure about me?" "I'd be delighted." Life after remarriage was truly blissful. A gentle husband, my daughter, and I lived a peaceful life. However, I failed to notice the ominous footsteps creeping closer to our tranquil days. One day, Jan had work, but I was off. Just as I thought of having a leisurely tea, an email arrived. It was from Jessica, and the content was shocking. "A baby is born. I'm expecting a $5,000 baby shower gift. A sigh escaped me in front of that curt email. 5 years ago, Jessica had an affair with Michael and snatched him away. Now this, and $5,000 for a baby shower gift, seemed too much. I can't forget that day, nor can I, even if I tried. The expressions on Jessica and Michael's faces back then, the way they sought happiness together, ignoring my suffering from morning sickness, was unforgivable. I was at a loss on how to respond to Jess's email. Then, John returned from work, noticing something was off, and asked with concern, "What's wrong, Naomi? You look pale." "Oh, John, it's a message from my sister. She had a baby." "The sister who married your ex-husband, Michael?" "Yeah. I don't want to see her face or hear from her. Plus, she's asking for a $5,000 baby shower gift." As John listened and looked at my phone, he suddenly said, "Wait, this Jessica Smith name, you know her?" "I didn't mention her when we got married because I didn't want to remember." "Yeah, I've never been introduced to her by you, but I wonder." John, pondering while looking at the email, seemed to recall something. "We didn't properly greet her during our wedding, so let's visit her now. Also, I just remembered something I needed to do back at the department store." He then hurriedly prepared to leave, going back to the department store now. "Sorry, there's something I need to do." A few hours later, John returned with a thick file. "Is it okay if we visit your sister, Jessica, 2 weeks from now on Sunday? We both have the day off, and I'd like her to meet my parents and cousins too." "Your parents and cousins too." "Jessica loves being the center of attention, so she'll probably be fine." "But why?" "I've heard your ex-husband, Michael, is famous for allergy treatment. My family has a history of allergies. Thought we might get some good advice." I remembered hearing from friends that Michael had taken over his father's allergy clinic. Michael's dad was an authority on allergy treatment, and Michael became an allergist too, a friend told me. "Okay, I'll contact Jessica." Jessica quickly agreed when I contacted her. "I want to see the baby, and we'll bring a gift. Can I bring some relatives too? They really want to meet you." "Of course, the more guests, the more gifts. Looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks on Sunday." 2 weeks later, on Sunday, I visited Jessica's house with John, his parents, and relatives, including his cousins. In a quiet residential area, her stylish house stood next to the clinic, its white walls gleaming. John's parents and relatives were surprised by its luxurious design, excited to meet the renowned allergist. "Welcome. I've been waiting for you." "Long time no see, Jessica. You look happy." "Of course. I was worried about my first childbirth, but it all worked out in the end." I felt something off in Jessica's words. "First childbirth? Didn't you say you were pregnant with a boy before?" "Oh, did I not tell you? I miscarried that time, so this is my first." John, standing beside me, nodded meaningfully. Seeing John's face, Jessica started to tremble. "Oh, hello. Nice to meet you." "Hello, you must be Naomi's sister. I heard a bit about the miscarriage." "Yes, but I don't want to remember the miscarriage." Jessica turned her face away in a huff and started to walk off. "Sorry about that." "Oh, there's something I wanted to give you, Jessica." "What? Something for me?" Jan handed her an envelope. It's pastel color, and the word "Congratulations" written on it. Thick enough to be noticeable even from the side. "Here you go. I wanted to give this to Jessica personally." "Got it right? Just what I've been waiting for." I glanced at John and whispered to him, "Hey, we aren't rich, and we don't have to give Jessica the $5,000 she asked for." But John, unfazed, pet me off. "It's fine. Trust me. You'll understand if you watch." "What do you mean if I watch?" While we were talking about the envelope, Jessica had already started opening it. "I need to check if it's exactly $5,000. With this thickness, it might even be $10,000. The cute envelope was torn open with a ripping sound. Jessica's face clouded over the moment she opened it. "What's this?" John stepped forward with a salesperson's smile to explain. "Mrs. Jessica Smith, this is a detailed statement of your purchases at the department store over the past 5 years. You said to put it on my tab, and this is the amount you've accumulated to date. What are you talking about? I don't know anything about this. The statement Jessica held listed names of luxury watches and brand bags. Seeing the 5-digit figure in the amount column, I was in disbelief. Indeed, Mr. Michael Smith himself and his parents are valued customers with an external sales card contract. However, with such a high amount, we needed to confirm just to be sure. My husband is the famous allergist, Michael Smith. As the wife of the clinic's director, using 1 or 2 external sales cards is nothing. Is that so? Also, there's something else I personally wanted to verify. John paused before continuing. About 5 years ago, we had complaints about a customer flaunting their external sales card and making extremely unpleasant remarks. Do you know anything about this? What's that? What does it matter? Since we had several complaints, I checked with the staff who were nearby at the time. The content of the conversation was so terrible that the staff remembered it clearly. Glancing sideways, I saw Jessica's expression harden. The staff said the conversation was about stealing someone's husband, who happens to be her brother-in-law. Could it be? Yes, that's right. And she bragged about using a fake pregnancy to break them up, laughing loudly. She talked about how she lied about miscarrying like it was some kind of heroic tale. That's when I realized that time. Jessica's claim of being pregnant with a boy, the hair, was all a lie to snatch Michael. Of course, there was no pregnancy, so no morning sickness or changes in her body shape. What are you saying? That story was about me. Matching the complaints with the external sales card, your name, Jessica Smith, came up. I can't believe this. You are marrying into a doctor's family, becoming the clinic director's wife. I couldn't stand it. I had to do whatever it took to tell Michael that I was the right one for him. I was overwhelmed with disbelief that Michael had fallen for Jessica's scheme, and she had lied to marry him. While I was stunned, the door opened. What's this all about? Explain yourself, Jessica. Since when have you been here? From the beginning. I came back to get something I forgot and found the external sales card statement. And now I hear the pregnancy 5 years ago was all a lie. You trapped me. Michael shouted, and Jessica began to laugh. So what? You got a beautiful wife, and we have a child now. So it's fine, right? Don't joke with me. I can't live with a liar like you. Let's get a divorce. You can't be serious. What about our child? Don't you feel sorry for them? Pushing her away, Michael glared at Jessica with a furious expression. I can't live with a liar and reckless spender like you. It's not good for the child either. We're getting a divorce. I'm taking custody. Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea what I went through to give birth to this child? This child needs to become a doctor in the future to support us. You're just thinking about yourself. There's no point in talking about this now. Let's handle the rest through a lawyer. The relatives who came along hoping to get some effective medicine from the famous allergist were frozen in shock at this chaotic scene. I was so embarrassed to admit that she was my sister. Afterward, Michael got a good lawyer specializing in divorce and successfully got divorced and won custody. Meanwhile, Jessica, who had been shopping to her heart's content on credit using the external sales card during her marriage, was now being chased for repayments. Hey, if your husband hadn't brought that statement, I'd still be the clinic director's wife. I'm being hounded for repayments now. Help your sister out in a pinch, will you? Why should I? You brought this on yourself, didn't you? And you should pay for your own shopping. Unexpectedly, I got a message from Michael via social media. Hey, can we start over? If Jessica hadn't lied about having a boy 5 years ago, we would have been fine as a couple. I want to see our daughter too. I had forgotten how you left me suffering with morning sickness and mocked me, then cheated on me. After 5 years of no contact, the last thing I wanted was to see his face again. Michael seemed to be struggling to keep the clinic he inherited from his father running. But he can't stop gossip due to the infidelity rumors. Patients stopped coming. The Smith Clinic, which Michael inherited, had a 1-star rating and unbelievable bad reviews on a hospital review site. It seemed only a matter of time before he would have to close the clinic he was so fixated on inheriting. Ironically, he was so obsessed with having a male heir. My husband, daughter, and I continue to live happily as a family. Naomi, are you ready? Shall we head out soon? Yes, I was just remembering how delicious the spaghetti you brought me from that restaurant was back when I was a single mother. Jen used to order from a restaurant for takeout as a way to approach me. Back then, my daughter was small, and since we weren't dating, we never ate at the restaurant, just as colleagues. You had just gotten divorced and were having a hard time, right? I thought even a little bit of delicious food could bring you happiness. It was your kindness that drew me to you, the dish that brought us together back then. It was just my daughter and me eating takeout, but now it's different. I'm happy that we can eat together as a family. Who would have thought that a day like this, going out with you and our daughter, would come?